Hello, everyone. I'm Dijon,
And I'm Ira.
and welcome to the Mustardcast, the podcast about the art of storytelling and how it's used across different mediums. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see our channel grow, and to click the notification bell so that you're notified when we post. As always, free Palestine and do everything you can to support them. So, what cartoons have you been watching lately?
The cartoon wise, it's been a little light because I've been very much playing a lot of games rather than sitting down and watching stuff. I'm trying to think. We watched there's something we watched in Lab One the other day, and I'm trying to remember. Oh, Justice League Unlimited. I have started rewatching again just for the kicks and giggles. Since we kind of started watching it at work, and I forgot how good that TV show is. Like, of all the superhero cartoons, and this might be a little controversial, I low key think Justice League Unlimited is one of the best, if not the best.
I would
And
100%
that's
say.
really it. Yeah, that's really it for me. Mostly just Justice League Unlimited, but
Funnily enough, as you know, I'm watching Justice League the animated series, which is the precursor
oh,
to Justice League Unlimited.
hmm,
And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people watched Unlimited but didn't watch the animated series, or they watched the animated series but didn't realize that they're two separate shows technically, even though Unlimited is just a continuation of the animated series.
hmm. I was
Um,
say because I'm one of those people that falls in the former category. I didn't know there was a
yeah,
precursor to
I'm
Unlimited, but I
sure.
am.
I'm
That
sure
does
you've
make
seen it.
sense.
Like I'm sure you've seen episodes from
Probably
it and just didn't realize that that wasn't a part of Unlimited and it was instead
limited, right?
the animated series. Um, but yeah, just League the animated series is really good. I mean, if you're rewatching Unlimited, go back and watch the animated series. It's also really good.
I just might because it'll be my first time watching it, like consciously. I think.
Yeah, I think I watched it all the way through for the first time back when the DC Universe Infinite app at the time when they first released it, they were also trying to use it to put all of the cartoons and any new shows were going to be on that as well. But they realized that was stupid
Mm.
and folded all of that into HBO Max and made it just a comic app, which was very smart on their side because, yeah, trying to make another streaming service
Yeah,
specifically for their movies and shows and cartoons would
cartoons.
just,
Yeah,
that wouldn't work. But I mean, it didn't work, obviously.
at
That's why
all.
they moved it all to Max.
Right.
But yeah, I rewatched it back then, and now I'm watching it again alongside Blind Wave, which I'm also watching.
Mm.
Batman Beyond alongside them, and doing my own rewatch. But my rewatch has been on break because I fell behind on what I was watching with them. But now I'm caught back up again. So on Wednesday I'll be watching the the first episode of season 3, which is the last season. And I read somewhere that the Batman Beyond movie takes place before episode 2, so I should watch the Return of the Joker Batman Beyond movie before episode 2. So I'll probably do that. Uh, Also, still watching Fiona and Cake season 2, which has been really good. Again, barely advertised, but it's out. People should go watch it. Fiona and Cake's really good.
Right.
You don't need to have watched Adventure Time to watch Fiona and Cake, though it is in a lot of
Yes.
ways very much a sequel to Adventure Time,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of the characters from Adventure Time that appear in this.
Right.
Also watching Star Wars Visions Volume 3. Been kind of watching it very slowly. I've only just watched the third episode last night because I realized, oh, we record tomorrow. I
Hmm.
should probably watch that episode because I've been holding off on watching it because I was watching other stuff. And I was like, if I'm gonna
Right.
watch it, I'm gonna sit in my living room and watch it on my nice TV instead of in my bedroom like I did, I think, the second episode. Um,
Makes sense.
and I was just tired after work and just never got around to watching it. So I finally sat down and watched the third episode, and I'll get around to the rest eventually. Um, Still rewatching One Piece, also alongside Blind Wave. I'm on episode 38 of 1,148. I'm not rewatching the whole show.
Jesus.
And they're doing
That's what I say.
so when they finish a show, they do a poll for the next show. And with One Piece, they're doing it arc by arc. So the only way they're gonna watch the next
Mm.
arc after East Blue is if it gets voted for. So if it doesn't, they'll move on to something else, and they'll
Mm.
put the next arc in another poll to appear another time. So I assume it'll probably win because it's One
Right.
Piece, and One Piece is the most popular anime on the planet right now. So
Very popular.
um,
Yeah.
I imagine they'll continue watching it. They're going to be watching it until they
Yeah.
retire, and they're probably never going to catch up. But
Probably.
Sakamoto Days, I started. Uh, I was going to say season 2, but it's actually not season 2. There was a break, and they didn't they didn't do a season 2. Instead, it was just like a mid-season break, and like 6 months later, the second half of the season came out, and at the time I was like, I don't think I'll watch it. But I decided to sit down and start watching it. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I like the show. So yeah, Sakamoto Days is fun. It's about a former assassin who's retired, has a family, got fat, and now he's just chilling. And the latest episodes, instead of like just making fun of him being fat, they and like he like there was an episode where he like fought so hard he lost weight and went back to his old fit self, but then he put it back on because he just ate a lot again. But in the most like recent like last two episodes, like one of his old like assassin network
Colleagues.
acquaintances told
Mm.
him like it's okay that you're fat. You just got to get used to fighting in your new body. And now he's like trying to get back
Mm.
to the level that he used to be in the body that he's currently in, rather than them being like, oh no, he has to lose weight. And that's how he is at his full strength. Instead, is like he's gonna get back to his full strength at the weight that he is now. And I was like, that's a nice message. Instead of going like, no,
I like that
you're too fat.
angle.
You need to lose weight. They're just like, no, you're fine the way you are. You just gotta actually, you're out of practice, and you need to practice fighting in your current body.
Right.
Also watching Ranma one half on Netflix as well, and I don't tend to say too much about it overall because it's kind of hard to just discuss without people who aren't also watching it. But it's real good. I definitely recommend checking it out. This is the remake on Netflix, and in the last couple episodes, they subverted my expectations. For what is a
Mm-hmm.
very old anime, and manga at this point because it debuted in like the late '80s. Um, and you know, I've talked about it before. It does some weird things because it's old. But they were surprisingly not
Mm-hmm.
sexist in a very specific way that I was expecting them to be. There was an episode where Ranma
Mm-hmm.
had to fight a guy in his woman form, and they started to go into the whole, oh, he's weaker now because he's a tiny woman spiel. But then
Mm.
they went further and said, no, he's not weaker because he's a woman. He's weaker because when he turns to a woman, his body gets smaller and it's different in various different ways. Like for some reason, Rama,
Mm.
when he turns into a woman, has the biggest known to man, and they make fun, and they find a reason to have this man naked all the time because he's a guy, so he's used to like, yeah, I can have my shirt off, and as you can imagine, they take advantage of that for
Right.
a lot of pervy jokes. Um,
Answer.
yeah,
Yeah, makes
exactly. A lot
sense.
of fan service. And like I didn't realize it until I was like, when you watch a show on Netflix, they tell you the rating at the beginning in the top left corner. And I didn't realize, and I understand
Mm.
why. It's rated TVMA because
Oh.
like you know how anime does it. They don't draw the nipple, but they show his bare chest when
Right.
he's a woman all the time. So yeah, it's rated TVMA because they are not shy about showing Rama's body. And like, yeah, they were just like, oh no, you're shorter, so your arms and legs are shorter. So you can't reach as far and you have to adjust for that if you want to be as good of a fighter when you're in a woman's body as you are when you're in a man's body, which is the body that you built all those skills in. So you're used to fighting
Right.
that one. You're not used to fighting this one. I was like, oh, that's refreshing to see that they weren't just like, oh, you're a woman, so you're weaker. They're just like, no, you have a completely different body that you have to get used to fighting in, similar to like Sakamoto Days.
Right.
Which I was like, oh, that's very refreshing to see in this very old anime that they weren't just like, no, you're weak because you're a woman now. But yeah, I also mentioned this a bit when I was talking about the last season, but Mappa is using a very different style from any of the other anime that they've done. And it's gorgeous. Some of the background elements have this like paper cutout effect that looks really cool, almost collage like, and the whole show is just very bright and pastel in color. And it's just very different from the more drab colored battle shonen like Jujutsu Kaisen or the first season of Chainsaw Man. So like it's very different from what you usually see
Yeah.
from Mappa. Moving on to some reviews. Star Wars Visions. Like I said, I'm watching that and to just talk about that a little bit more. I only watched the first 2 episodes. The first episode was a sequel episode, The Dual Payback, animated by uh, Kamikaze Doga and Anima. In this episode, with the help of some unexpected allies, Ronin faces off against his greatest foe, a twisted Jedi known as the Grandmaster who is bent on revenge. In the second episode, The Song of Four Wings, which is animated by Project Studio Q, a princess turned rebel protects a child from the might of the Empire, on a snowbound planet. And the last one I watched, The Ninth Jedi, Child of Hope, the one I was most excited for, animated by Production IG, pursued by Jedi hunters and blasted adrift into space. Kara encounters a seemingly abandoned ship tended by a mysterious droid. So, the second episode, Song of Four Wings, was my favorite so far, by Studio Q. And of the sequel episodes were kind of disappointing. Especially The Ninth Jedi, which was my favorite episode of the first season.
I remember you saying that.
I didn't dislike either of them, but they unfortunately didn't really live up to the original episodes. Luckily for the Ninth Jedi, they're doing a spin-off series, so it's a bit more forgiving for there to be a weaker episode in what is going to end up being a full series. So I give that one a bit of slack, or I cut that one a bit of slack. But the duel is not bad, so I'm not saying the duel payback was a bad episode. I just like the original duel episodes more.
A lot better.
So honestly, I wasn't really even disappointed in the duel. I was more disappointed in the Ninth Jedi one. The duel, because the duel was still good. Not as good as the first, but still really good. Whereas the Ninth Jedi, ultimately, I kind of was watching, I was like, this isn't as interesting as the first episode was. It kind of lost a lot of what made that first episode like fun and special when they were diving into like new aspects of like the Force and being a Jedi and specifically making lightsabers. That was really cool and different. And this one was just treading same old basic Star Wars ground, and I was like, oh, this is boring. So I hope that the series continues to do some new and interesting things with the Force and Jedi and lightsabers and things like that, rather than just being a basic Star Wars story but animated. Which, you know, it's great that it's animated, but we've had animated Star Wars before.
Right. The Clone Wars. That's like some of the only Star Wars content I've ever watched.
And it's some of the best. Clone Wars is so good.
That's really.
But yeah, I'm excited to watch the rest. I've been hearing good things about all the other episodes, and there's another sequel episode. I think just one more, but maybe there's two in this season. So I'm excited to watch that one because that was probably my second favorite episode. The other sequel episode that's coming up. So like yeah, you know, they make sequel episodes for essentially everybody's favorite episodes. The episode, the highest rated episodes from the first season. So yeah, I'm excited to watch more. The last episode especially, I hear is really good. So yeah, there's a Trigger did an episode for the first season, but this isn't a sequel to that episode. This is a new episode, and just from the thumbnail image, I'm like, I'm probably gonna like that episode. The thumbnail images, I'm like, I'm excited to get to that episode, but that's like the second to last episode, so I got some episodes to get through before I get there.
For the first, right?
But yeah, I'm excited to watch more Star Wars Visions.
I was gonna say, a lot of people don't really like think about how much the thumbnail makes you want to watch a show. If a show's like not like if I'm looking at stuff on a streaming service and the thumbnail is like not up to snuff, it will make me not want to watch it.
Understand. So, getting into comics, what have you guys been reading lately? Why don't you start us off, Bree?
I'm still reading the Summer Haku Day. I had stopped for a while because I've been busy. But other than that, I haven't read anything new. If anything, I started adding comics to read, like probably after this, to the DC, DC account.
That's good to hear. It's good to hear.
Yeah, I'm like currently doing it as we're in the podcast right now. There's actually like a lot of time. Yeah, no, wait.
I can see it. I have access.
But there's a lot of titles on here that I didn't expect to like be here. Like there's a bunch of fan works, especially by like Piccolo, I think his name is.
Oh yeah, Gabriel Piccolo.
Yeah. I didn't expect to see some of his works on here.
Yeah, he made some.
But then again,
he made some official work for DC.
I did not know that. That is interesting. There's like some other things on here that I'm like, do they work for DC or is this like DC adjacent or like what?
I mean, anything that's on there is official, made for DC.
Wow. There's one of them that I see on there. That's like, I'm not Starfire and I don't like that comic.
How about you, Ed?
A couple things. I started a reread of Land of the Lustrous because it's been a minute since I've even thought about it, and I'm like, it's about time. Doubly so because the manga like has been over for I think like a year and a half now. So I'm like, why not? Let's take a little trip down nostalgia lane. I've put Helsing and Claymore on hold for right now, just because I don't know. I'm not really enjoying where I'm at. Um, so those are kind of on the back burner. I did also start a comic on my own volition. It was Absolute Green Lantern. I'm only, I think,
Oh wow.
3 pages in so far. I'm kind of liking it. I'm
Okay.
kind of liking
You
it.
know,
It tempted me
that's
with the.
cool. This is awesome. Now that it's fine. Now we're actually in the midst of you guys starting to read comics that I'm reading. That's insane. Just of your own volition. That's random. Now I can talk to you about Absolute Green Lantern and how weird that shit is.
It's definitely very weird, but I like that it's weird. Like I said, I'm not that far in. I'm like just after the news report talking about like the weird thing in Evergreen, and I'm like, I don't know what that's all about, but it seems fascinating. And it really like I Googled to see if there was an absolute Green Lantern for the kicks and giggles. And there was, and I was like, oh wow. And I wasn't going to read it until I like read a synopsis and it said it was horror. And I'm like, wait a minute, it piqued my interest. Because it kind of it so far it's reminding me of Aquaman Andromeda a little bit, which I loved. So I'm like excited about that. But that's my big thing. The reread of Hoseki no Kuni or Land of the Lustrous, and then Absolute Green Lantern. And then of course the secret third thing that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah. There's definitely a bit of cosmic horror in Absolute Green Lantern. It gets real weird and like abstract. It's interesting. So far.
I love that.
Yeah, for me, finally diving back into The Witcher: Time of Contempt, I believe fourth Witcher book, the second Witcher novel, because the first two books are short stories. Because season 4 of The Witcher on Netflix is out. And I watched the first episode, and after watching the first episode, I was like, I need to hop back into the book and finish it up so I can eventually delve back into the third book of the Mistborn trilogy. There's two more Mistborn books after that, but they're like way in the future and are like separated from the trilogy. But yeah, so season 3 of Witcher actually covers a lot of the Time of Contempt, most of which I hadn't read before I watched season 3 the first time. So I'm noticing things that are directly from the books and how they're being changed, because I'm also rewatching season 3, but I'll talk about that in TV and film. In the second episode of season 3, one of the characters literally says a time of contempt is coming, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, and it's funnily enough, a moment from the very episode that I had watched one night happened in the book when I read it later that night. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Never had that happen before, but that's fun. In terms of some manga, last night I read the latest issue of what is it, Chojin X. Number is it? Dude, I hate this, man, and how they name their chapters, because the last chapter I read was chapter 68.3, and I'm like, brother, just name them chapters normally, bruh. Why are you trying to pretend like? First off, Sui Ishida trying to pretend like these chapters are like parts of other chapters, when it's like, brother, these chapters are so long. Like every chapter is like let me open a chapter right now. Every chapter is like 33 pages, bro. And I'm like, dog, these chapters are long as hell. Sometimes they're longer than that. I'm like, usually manga chapters aren't that long. I like reading Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man chapters are short as hell, but they're also short because there's not a lot of dialogue. They're usually like the latest chapter, which I haven't read yet, is 15 pages of Chainsaw Man. And the last chapter of Kagurabachi I read chapters 99 and 100, which they're, it's a landmark chapter for them. Shout out to Kagurabachi and Takeru Hokazona. And yeah, that's on 100. Read that. And that was like 19 pages. And each chapter is usually like 19 pages. And I'm like, you can't be calling these 0.3 chapters when it's 33 pages. It's a chapter. It's a whole chapter. Stop pretending like it's a portion of a chapter.
Right, that's a chapter.
But yeah, in chapter 100 of Kagurabachi, we meet a character that's been teased for a long time. And then the reveal was saved for 100 chapter, which was cool. Also, in terms of Marvel comics, I went and picked them up while you guys were talking so I could just list them off. I've read Imperial War, The Imperial Guardians, which is one of the tie-in comics. And then I have the very final issue of Imperial #4 that I need to read. Haven't read that yet though. The last issue of Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, which Miles Morales went into the Ultimate Universe after his baby sister was kidnapped. We got Ultimate Spider-Man #22, and then the Ultimates #17. Ultimates is still the best of the Ultimate books. It'll be sad when it ends, and I hope it's a lie. I hope they're lying to us and they're actually going to continue it. But if they do end it, I'll be spending less money, so I can't be too mad. In terms of DC Comics, read Justice League Unlimited #11, Batgirl #12, which continues to be one of my favorite DC Comics. Batgirl's so good. Should read Batgirl. Either the current one or the one from 2000. Reading Poison Ivy #37. I haven't read the one from 2000 yet. I read like the first issue a few years ago, but I never finished it. But I'll have to get back to it eventually. But yeah, Poison Ivy #37, New Gods #10, Batman Superman World's Finest #43. Batman #2, still reading that. The current ongoing Batman, first time in a long time, and it's still good. Second issue had a lot of Robin, Tim Drake, the second Robin, who's still Robin despite the fact that Damian Wayne is also Robin, and he needs to move on and get a new identity, but they refuse to let this man evolve. I read Absolute Batman #13 alongside the other three that I read for this episode. Justice League: The Omega X Special, which another Justice League DCKO tie-in comic that takes place before the first issue of DCKO, but came out after the first issue. So weird. Action Comics #1091, Absolute Green Lantern #7, Batman Dark Patterns #11, which there's one issue left, and Immortal Legend Batman #2, which continues to disappoint me. I'm really upset about it.
Oh,
Because it's by
oh,
Kyle Higgins. I'm reading Radiant Black, which, I should also mention that actually. I'm starting to catch up on Radiant Black. I bought all the issues because I
ooh.
felt way behind on Radiant Black. I don't know what happened. I'm like 5 chapters behind on Radiant Black, and I don't know how that happened. But I bought all of them because I was like, I need to catch up. And I'm reading Grimm as well, which is a comic I think you guys would enjoy as well. I think I'm reading them digitally on Kindle, so I'm like approaching the individual issues. But like I think both of them might be on Kindle Unlimited. At least Grimm, I think, is. Grimm's really good. It's about like the daughter of the Grim Reaper, and it's a really fun
Ooh.
comic. I'm on issue 22 of that. I haven't read 22 yet. I read 20. I reread 21 because it'd been a couple months since I read it, and I was like, I don't remember what's going on. But yeah, that's all I have. So moving on to the book club. We're starting a new book, the 4th book. You know, we read
Yay.
Wonder Historia, then the first issue of George Perez's Wonder Woman, then Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and now we're moving on to Absolute Batman. See, this is one for you guys because I know Bree especially really wanted to read Absolute Batman, and I was like, I gotta let y'all read something y'all want to read.
It's as great as I thought it would be.
Oh yeah, so written by Scott Snyder, who is the GOAT, who wrote New 52 Batman, which is one of the best Batman runs of all time. Pencil and inks by Nick Dragotta, which is an awesome name. Colors by Frank Martin. Letters by Clayton Cowles. The GOAT returns. Cover by Dragotta and Martin, and edited by Sabrina Fuchs. It looks like it says fuck, but Sabrina Fuchs, Katie Kubert, and Chris Conroy. Synopsis of the first 3 issues, because we're doing 3 issues and another 3 issues. We're going to read the first arc. In issue #1, very short, very brief. Without the mansion, without the money, without the butler, what's left is the absolute Dark Knight. In issue #2, Batman was born out of violence, a horrible tragedy that shaped the trajectory of his future. But when a vigilant M16 agent starts tracking the lonely life of Bruce Wayne, he discovers the interconnectivity between a hero's shell life and the many layers of the Black Mask gang. It's Batman versus Alfred Pennyworth. And in issue #3, Batman and Alfred have formed a tentative alliance, but the Black Mask has some new friends too. And they're coming to Gotham to wreak absolute havoc. Plus, discover the Dark secret that will rock Bruce to his core and make him question everything. So yeah, art. I didn't write a lot of notes about art. I spent a lot of time earlier today, like writing like a deeper synopsis like we do in the other episodes about the 3 chapters. So that's where the bulk of my notes will focus on. But in terms of art, what I wanted to talk about was I read the noir edition of issue #1, which I never read before. I read the regular issue, and then I essentially went through and just looked at the art in the noir issue. I went through every single page, and it's like both of you open up noir issue edition of Absolute Batman right now, and I need you to look at it because what it is the raw inks, unedited, from Nicholas
Mm.
Dragotta. So you see like the lighter, like the way ink looks when you put it on page rather than it being digitally edited to all be completely black. You see the parts of the ink where it streaks and like it's lighter in some areas and darker in others. So it's the complete raw inks and it's
Ooh.
all black and white and it is gorgeous. It
Mhm.
looks good and it goes like we're seeing all these comics in like their final form. With the full colors by the amazing colorists who are always shining out and talking about how good of a job they're doing. Um,
Right.
but you just see the inks by themselves and go, oh yeah, that's the mark of good art when just
Mhm.
even uncolored. If this was just like a manga and it was just black and white, it would still be awesome.
Mm.
Like it's real good.
Whoa.
It is good.
So are there any art moments that stuck out to you guys want to talk about, or do you guys want to get into it and then point it out as we go?
I think he uses a lot of perspective shots, which is like really hard to capture, and that's what I
Mhm.
really like about the comic so far. Like their faces and everything look very interesting, but like I'm more into like the backgrounds right now and
Yeah,
like the action
Mm.
scenes.
he's definitely really good at drawing action.
I was gonna say very good like fight scenes that I could follow very, very easily. Which was really nice. It's a big change of pace from like a lot of the other like comics and manga that I read where it gets a little dense. And I think it being in color really aids that. Because sometimes in like black and white comics or manga, I tend to get lost in the action because I'm just like it's happening and I'm looking at it, but I don't know.
Like, but what
This
is happening?
right, what is happening?
Jujutsu
Really.
Kaisen's really bad about that. It's really hard to follow whenever I was reading Jujutsu Kaisen and it was still ongoing, I would always be like, man, this gonna look real good when it's animated, but right now I don't know what the hell's happening.
I was saying that's honestly part of the reason why I dropped Jujutsu Kaisen because I was like, I don't know what the heck is happening here. But like, it would be like the story is really, really, really good, and then they would start fighting, and I'm lost. I'm lost. I don't know what's happening. So it's really refreshing to see like action that I can follow. I also really, really like how warm toned this comic is. I wasn't expecting that. Because usually when I think of Batman, I think of like dark, brooding, very cool colors, but it's quite warm, all things considered, and I'm a big fan of that.
It reminds
Mhm.
me of the fact that the sky is red in Batman the Animated
Mm.
Series. Wait, were you gonna say something, Brie?
I'm sorry, I'm going back through the comic again. But like the way he illustrates like a play by play and like integrates like the dialogue along with the action, like
Mhm.
in issue 3 where there's like how do you pronounce his name? Sionis?
Sionis.
Sionis. Yeah, where he's like wrestling with the big guy. And like he's just talking casually, but like there's so much going on. I love it. It's not as like complicated dialogue wise. Like I can easily read it.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones were like I don't know. It was confusing my little brain.
Okay, going on to a bit of a deeper analysis of the issues, or synopsis, I should say. Um, so the first issue, we get a bit of a origin story, basically. We start this issue off with a literal bang, as we see Bruce at the zoo, then a two-page spread of a gun, which I used to draw a lot of pistols when I was a kid. So when I was reading it last week, I was just looking at the gun. I was like, it's a good drawing of a gun. I used to draw a lot of guns when I was a kid. That's a nice gun. Um, from there, we see Absolute Alfred Pennyworth, who is a MI6 agent or M16 agent. No, I say MI6. I say M16 because I mistake the I for a one. He's an MI6 agent, um, sent to Gotham to do recon on a criminal organization called the Party Animals. He's basically James Bond in this. After that, we're introduced to an adult Bruce who's built like a brick shit house of a man,
And he's only
and
It
24.
and
really
he and
is.
Only
he's
24.
only this Gen Z 24-year-old. Because in this universe, he's
Mm,
Gen Z Batman. And
that's
he just
crazy.
absolutely destroys a punching bag. And his good friend Waylon Jones, Jim, uh, who's draped in various different reptiles, including a crocodile. I wonder what that could mean. Um,
Hmm.
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 We're then introduced to the main villain, Black Mask, Roman Sionis, who kills the heads of the two premier criminal families in Gotham, the Falcones and the Maronis, as they try to threaten him into calling off the party animals' wanton destruction across Gotham. From there, we head to a press conference led by Mayor Jim Gordon rather than Commissioner, when the party animals attack and we see Batman in action for the first time. And despite his size, he's more of a bat than ever, with a prehensile cape reminiscent of a bat's wings that he uses to hook criminals and launch them through the air, and that he stands on, just like a bat can. And I remember they revealed this, Scott Snyder and Nick Dragata, on socials before the comic came out, and I was like, oh, that's such a good idea. Why hasn't anybody done this? Um, and then we see Batman attach a handle to the fat bat symbol in his chest, which comes off and is turned into an axe that he uses to cut off one of the party animals' hand, and then tells him that he should go to the hospital, but he doesn't know which direction it is. So good luck. And we don't know if that man survives. That man could be dead. Okay.
My thing is
Hey,
the whole sequence of him fighting everyone, and they were like narrating how like no one's dead. I'm like, you're lying. People
Right.
just blew up.
It's
They
like
were
when
dead.
it's like when you're playing the Batman Arkham games and you fucking suplex somebody off a roof, and it's like, no, that man's dead. Batman killed that guy. Okay, Batman. I hit him full speed with a Batmobile. He did not get electrocuted. He went to heaven. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's crazy. And honestly, like it was really hard to kind of suspend my disbelief during those moments, because it's like in other Batman media, it's like okay, yeah, plausibly deniable. I can believe that Batman did not kill this man. Looking at absolute Batman absolutely cooked these people, I'm like, they're all dead, and then you have the audacity to come to me and be like, oh yeah, I'm a pacifist, I don't kill. That man,
he took his
that man's
ears
not
off.
making it to that hospital.
He took his
Right.
ears off and stabbed people with them. His ears are knives. His bat symbol is an axe. His cape is a spear, basically.
You literally see him jump from like the ground and land on a guy's rib cage. Like there's blood coming out of his mouth. He is dead.
Right.
That man just got
His
300
foot
pounds to
into
the
that man's
chest.
whole chest. And he's still standing on it. I'm like, bro, he is gone.
Yeah, so after he cuts that dude's hand off and the party animals run off scared, we get the reveal that Bruce's dad was killed in a mass shooting at the Gotham Zoo, but also that his mom is alive this time around. So
Mhm.
he's not an orphan, or rich. He's just a normal dude. We also learned from Alfred about how Bruce trained to become Batman. He got into college on a football scholarship and then faked an injury to get off the team so that he could save his body for training and so that he could dedicate all of his time to studying subjects specifically that would help him on his crusade. Then he worked various jobs across the city so that he could learn how the city worked inside and out, from the power grid and the sewer systems to local government. But the career he ultimately decided on was engineering. Uh, and yeah, and in my notes, this is where I wrote to mention that he's. This is the moment where they mention that he's 24. But yeah, him being an engineer leads to him using the empty upper levels of a skyscraper that he helped build as his Batcave, which is found by Pennyworth, who attempts to convince Batman to quit his crusade before he gets a face full of batarangs from a shotgun.
Wondering how he's also not dead.
And then
Right.
Well, he does say he modified it to make it non-lethal, and I was like, sure, Batman.
Yeah, whatever.
And then he proceeds to drive his motorcycle off the skyscraper in a final 2-page spread with no explanation of how he lands. Not like they didn't show like his cape turning into a glider or nothing. No, he just jumped. He just rode the motorcycle off the skyscraper, and we're supposed to just be like, I guess somehow he landed.
He just landed. That's just who he is.
But yeah, what did you guys
Life
think?
fully intact.
What did you guys think of this first issue of Absolute Batman? Mind you, I have this
It
one
was-
physically.
I thought it was interesting. I think I need to let Absolute Batman cook a little more. Simply because I'm like, as it stands right now, like I like it, but I'm thinking I'm liking like Wonder Woman Historia and
Mhm.
and Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow better. And that's only because like I feel, I don't know. like I really really like this, and I like the kind of spin they're putting on it. But on the same time, or on the same token, it like I feel like the story sometimes falls a little bit to the wayside in favor of the fight scenes. But like I said, we're only very early in, so I might be proven wrong.
I
But as
think
of right now, that's where I'm standing.
based
at.
on what your taste seems like so far, based on what we've been reading, you're definitely really gonna like Absolute Wonder Woman, which we're gonna read after this one.
Mm.
But yeah, what about you, Brie?
Unless I start reading it right now.
Don't start reading it yet.
But I think this is very over the top, but like in a good way, because like a lot of these scenes are very glorified. I'm just like, wow, imagine this animated. It'd be very goofy, but it's like the cool kind of
So
goofy. And I was very
Nick
surprised.
Dragata actually said that he would love to see Absolute Batman animated by Studio Trigger.
Ooh, I can see
that'd be
that.
awesome. Yeah. I feel like to be able to like really capture the scenes.
Mhm.
But like I was very like taken aback. Like I was very shocked to see like Alfred starting off the comic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, yeah, if he doesn't like, he's not an orphan and he doesn't have the money, so where does Alfred come into play? And like that was a very interesting take. But
I'm just realizing that Absolute Batman came out on my birthday last year.
Oh wow.
And I should mention we're recording this on my birthday this year. So it's literally been no, number 2 came out on my birthday last year. Okay. Because the noir edition of number 1 came out on my birthday. So okay. Number 2 came out on my birthday last year, but at the same time, still, we're reading it on essentially the 1 year anniversary of the series.
that's very interesting. This was not orchestrated, by the way.
No, not at all. Unless you
But
got sick on purpose.
yes, I made you wait on purpose.
But yeah, I knew you would like it a lot because I know you're a fan of action. There's some good action in this. But yeah, moving on to issue number 2, where we get more of Batman taking the fight to the party animals, while Alfred watches as per his mission. And despite his reluctance, he is forced to reveal Batman's secret network of his secret network of hideouts by his superiors. And when the party animals storm one in a skyscraper, he blows it up in a way that forms the silhouettes of his mask on the building. And are you also going to tell me that no one died in that explosion?
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. Like that was not an empty building.
But yeah, and also the like location of his hideouts on a map made his bat symbol. He's really committed to the bit. I
So
mean,
he's not
over the top.
yeah. We then
definitely very anything but subtle.
yeah, for sure. Especially we'll see at the end of this. We then see Mayor Gordon in the hospital after the party animals attack in last issue, and we learn that Barbara Gordon, his daughter, is a cop in this universe. Next, we get Bruce joining his friends for a game of poker, where we're introduced to Harvey Dent, Oswald Cobblepot, Edward Nigma, and the previously met Waylon Jones. But they remark on the fact that one person is missing. Do you guys recognize any of those names?
I barely recognize
I've
any of them.
I know Harvey Dent is Two-Face, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't recognize the names, but I recognize the faces, if that makes sense.
Mm.
The one guy with the glasses is definitely the Riddler.
Yeah, I figured it out later.
And then you've lost me on everyone else, I think.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you. I'll let you figure it out as you read.
Dang.
Yeah, during this poker game, Bruce grills all of his friends about information related to the party animals. And Harvey reveals that former Mayor Hill has recently got a major donation for his re-election campaign. So Batman goes to Hill's office and discovers a computer file labeled Arkham. Not Arkham Asylum, not that Arkham, but ARK capital M. I love how Batman draped his cape around his face and neck like a scarf here. Like he just wanted to be different today. He had to switch it up. But it turns out that this was a trap set by Black Mask. So Batman begins his escape, where he runs into Alfred, who offers his help. And in the middle of their conversation, the thing that they're standing on starts to move, and it turns out to be the Batmobile, which is a gigantic monster truck. And then at the very end, we get the beginning of a flashback with Selena Kyle, who is that missing seat from their table. And in issue number 3, the last one we read, we start with Kid Bruce and Selena running across rooftops, and then flash to seeing Jim Gordon holding a young Bruce Wayne running through the zoo, presumably, after the shooting. Then we're back in the action as Alfred laments about his hate of Batman as he stands atop the armored monster truck of a Batmobile as they're chased by party animals through the streets of Gotham. And Alfred says that they need to ditch the truck for a vehicle that can go fast when it begins to transform, getting lower to the ground and shooting forward, propelled by rocket engines. And Alfred says that he may love Batman. As they continue to try and outrun the party animals and the GCPD, Alfred tries to convince Batman to give up and take the money that Black Mask offered to essentially become the Batman that we know from the main universe. But Batman refuses and tricks Alfred into ejecting himself from the Batmobile as it drives into the water. Then we get a continuation of the flashback with Selena, where they go to a movie theater to watch Zorro. And back in the present, Bruce is visiting Edward to follow up about what he's discovered about the party animal's helmet that he handed him. I believe it was last year. And then he introduces Batman to an AI that he says has access to 4/5 of human knowledge, and that he jokes about calling either Al or something riddle themed. Both, of course,
I figured out he was the
both, of course, meta references. Of course, you guys figured out the Riddler one, and the Al one being like it could be his Alfred, but also the Al is a reference to a real person as well. But the AI tells him what it knows about the mask and that the party animals can't be taken down. But of course, Batman's not going to give up. That's when Harvey calls and tells Bruce that he's discovered more about the Arkham and that it's a project to build private prisons by a company called JK Holdings. I wonder what that could be.
JK Rowling.
That's hilarious. I did not think about that. Next, we see Hamilton Hill setting up a meeting between Black Mask and Commissioner Harvey Bullock, who is blackmailed into working with Black Mask. Then we get a quick glimpse at Bruce investigating Arkham as Alfred narrates the fact that Arkham is one of many arcs, presumably 13 if they are going alphabetically, before returning to the flashback as Bruce is in the theater with Selena and tries to leave, but is ambushed by his friends who force him to sit down and spend time with them, while his mom watches from the back of the theater. We then get a moment between Bruce and his mom in the present where he tries to convince her that helping Gordon is too dangerous, but she refuses to do nothing while the city burns, which leads to Bruce taking the deal from Black Mask to protect his mother. Now, I made a mistake. Before we get into issue 3, let's actually go back. I meant to ask you guys what you guys thought of issue 2.
I like issue 2 a lot better. It's the little teases of Catwoman we got. I'm excited for. I'm like, I can't wait to see her in the actual comic, like in the present day, because it's like if Batman is so drastically different and all his usual rogues gallery, in the way Mr. Freeze, the Riddler, or not Mr. Freeze, Two-Face, the Riddler, etc., are like drastically different. I'm like, what does Catwoman look like? I have to know. I simply must know.
Well, be careful in the app. Don't get spoiled by the covers.
I won't. I'll try not to anyway.
How about you, Brie? For issue 2.
I feel like there is some I don't know, stuff going on with his friends. Like who's the guy with the black hair that's like slicked back? He looks like a villain.
Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah, Oswald looks so off. And low-key, he's like exposing himself.
He is also
hey,
a criminal. They say it that he's working like shady, doing shady things. He says, what is the word that he uses? He says like
atypical.
Yeah, atypical. He said my work is atypical, and Harvey goes, oh yeah, that's good, atypical.
Also, I just put 2 and 2 together.
Oh, you put it together. It's such a
I put it together.
It's an obvious name. And Bree doesn't know though. We can leave it a secret.
listen, I really don't know, but I don't know, when Batman or at least Bruce asked the question, he was just like, I don't know anything about this, but he's like, look, I was just talking about the poker game, bro. He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? What are you in on? What are you doing?
Right. What nefarious activities do you get up to?
Yeah.
But so far, I really like it. He's basically communicating with his friends to like help him fix the city in a way. Like I was not expecting this.
Yeah.
Like how are you friends with the Riddler?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so issue 3, we got a lot more, and that's why I took more extensive notes. My notes for issue 2 were very short. So what did you think about issue
Mhm.
3? Which I feel like in issue 3, we get a lot more into something that we should talk about, which is like Bruce's origin story. As a kid, his dad dies in a mass shooting at a zoo. And then we get sprinkles of it throughout the first 2 as well. But, he's, of course, naturally very depressed after the passing of his dad. And then Selena comes and tries to like pull him out of his funk and takes him to the theater. And then all his friends ambush him and force him to watch Zorro and try to cheer him up. But yeah, what do you
I feel
guys
like
think
they
about
took a
3?
very realistic approach to it because like literally after his father passed, he was like I think in jail for like a little bit. Like he was actually arrested for something. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like the Batman we know wouldn't just go out and commit crimes, but like he didn't know what to do with himself. So I think that approach that they're taking is very nice. Although it does put some like loopholes in the story, because as you mentioned in like the first or second issue, he's like going around working all these jobs and like doing this in school. And I was like, college takes a long time, and these jobs you have to like work them for a while to like really know things. And like, how are you doing this and you're only 24?
Yeah,
But I don't know, maybe they'll go into like more
that's
detail
always
later.
that's always been a weird thing about Batman, where like he learns all of these things, becomes a master everything in a very short period of time.
Mind you, he is not rich. So how are you doing
Well, he
this?
got a scholarship, and he didn't travel the world. He stuck to the city.
It's true.
I think for me, again, really like this issue. I really do just think I need to let Absolute Batman cook a little bit more. Also, I don't like the death flags that they're giving Martha Wayne. I don't like that one bit.
Yeah.
I like the fact that
You
she's
can't be
still alive in
Batman and
this.
have
I
a
think
living parent, okay?
but they had her alive for so long. It would if they kill her, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be so mad because it's like
We end the comic right there. We just stop reading.
it's like I know it's coming. It's inevitable, but there's a small part of me that has hope. It's like maybe they'll let her live this time, and she's just a single mom. But I don't know. Also, that argument they had made me sad because I'm like, no, don't fight with your mom. She's about to die.
Literally, she's all you have left.
Right.
Yeah. But I also was just thinking about how like even though he did do all that studying, like we do also see that he did like hyper focus on engineering specifically. We see he's built things and that he like focused on mapping the
So when
city.
did he
So
have
like
time to build things?
I mean like yeah, that was it seems like that was his major. So like that was his main thing was engineering. So he just spent his time building things mostly. And he took a bunch of other classes, criminal psychology, chemistry and all that jazz. But it seems like we see him, he's beating people up and he's building things. So it seems like he does have a focus. So he probably didn't actually have enough time to get good at all of it. But the things he is good at, he's really good at.
I don't know. They make it seem like he's good in all of it. At least so far.
But yeah, anything else from issue 3 stand out to you guys? Oh, there's a moment. They tease it. They tease it a little bit. But Alfred has a daughter that he's kind of stalking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I forgot to bring up. Oh my gosh.
Did
She
he
likes some black.
did he text her at some point in this?
He called her, left a message, and then she responded like, "Never contact me
Okay,
again."
I couldn't remember if that happened yet, and if I was spoiling something. But yeah, she was just like, never talk to me again. And I was like, oh, what happened? What's going on with him?
I was
and
like,
his
what's
dad?
the deal with that?
Go home, Alfred.
Deadbeat dad Alfred is kind of crazy. It's crazy in a good way, but it's like
It is.
after
You're right.
seeing the Alfred that we know and love, I'm like, this man would never be a deadbeat dad.
I mean,
that's what
I'm sorry to tell you, but in the main universe, he also has a daughter.
What?
Oh, canonical deadbeat dad. We hate to see it.
He abandons his real child, but he becomes the father that steps up for another child.
Oh no, if I was his daughter, I'd be crashing out. I would be at Wayne Manor every day. They would get sick of seeing me.
We're lucky she's not a supervillain.
Right.
This is
Pissed me
crazy. I
off.
never knew that. A part of me was like, what if he actually just has like a daughter in like the main like canon or whatever? And then here we are.
But yeah, we also
Main
got
daughter
that.
in the canon.
We also got that scene of a black mask wrestling Bibbo Bibowski, which was upsetting.
Bibbo.
It's upsetting for anybody who knows anything because Bibbo Bibowski is this really nice dude from the Superman comics who's like one of Superman's homies. And then he
No.
just get killed by Black Mask. And like, why did you do that to Bibbo? Bibbo's just this
When he's
nice
like, oh, did you just kill him? And he's like, no, he's fine. I'm like, that man is not fine. I
Bibbo
knew it was coming.
is just this sweet dude in the main universe, and here he just gets killed because this man wants to train. Very sad.
It wasn't even training. He just wanted to kill someone.
I was just like, Black Mask is also very weird. The skull is throwing me off. I'm like, I
Yeah.
feel like you're someone I should recognize, but I'm just not right now.
I mean,
And that scares me.
he's in a lot of stuff, surprisingly. I'm surprised he hasn't showed up in the movies yet, actually. He'd be a really good villain for the movies, especially the more grounded ones. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe used him for the next one. He's a really fun villain. I feel like the first time I saw Black Mask was in Batman Arkham Origins, which is my favorite Arkham game, and he's one of the main villains in that. So yeah, Black Mask, he's a fun character. And this is a very sadistic take on him.
Well, I feel like I don't know what to expect
Yeah,
in these later issues.
because I mean it's the whole. I should say actually, I probably should have said this off top, but the idea of the absolute universe is taking characters and removing crucial aspects of them. Like in the synopsis of the first issue, they say without the mansion, without the money, without the butler, what's left? The absolute Dark Knight. And the whole point is to show how like what makes these characters who they are. If you strip away certain key aspects of their origin, how do they still become who they are? Like what is at the core of this character? And for all intents and purposes, this universe is quite literally, Darkseid fan fiction. Because Darkseid created this universe.
Oh, wow.
Really?
So the whole universe is just Darkseid fan fiction. Darkseid is like, yeah, this is a cool version of Batman.
He needed entertainment, and so he made it himself. That is crazy.
Okay, moving on to TV and film. I'll start us off because I don't have a lot. Been watching The Witcher, which I'll talk a little bit more about that later. I saw Predator Badlands in theaters. That was a good time. Talk about that later. And I watched on Halloween Day because we recorded the Halloween episode, the last part of the Halloween episode the day before Halloween. On Halloween Day, I watched Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, and it was an interesting experience because it was heavily censored, and I didn't realize how censored it was until I watched the Did Meat Kill Count, where he talks about how the movie was made and also counts the kills on YouTube. And there was this movie was damn near a porno because it was literally directed by a porn director. And I was low key after I found out, I was a little bit upset. I was like, damn, I didn't get the real experience. I'm gonna have to rewatch this one day. I'm gonna have to watch the proper version, okay? Okay, I want my money's worth. But I didn't have to pay for this because it was free on YouTube, and that's why it was heavily censored. They made the Friday the 13th movies, a significant portion of them, I think all of them, free on YouTube. So I watched part 4 on YouTube as well. So I watched part 5, and yeah, it was still good, and they did a really good job editing around it all, honestly, because they edited out like all the curse words, and there was a lot of cursing, and they edited around all the nudity, and I didn't notice that they were editing the nudity until the very end when I noticed the blur, and I was like, oh, they're editing this out. And yeah, they edited out a lot of it, and I didn't pick it up till the end. I was like, damn, I missed out on all you know how these movies be. Especially in older slashers, kids always gotta have sex and then get murdered by Jason. That's how it goes. But yeah, it was still a good time despite that. Very interesting movie. You guys don't care for spoilers for Friday the 13th Part 5, do you?
No.
So Jason actually isn't the killer. Jason died in the last one, which is called The Final Chapter, and this one is A New Beginning. So Jason is the killer, but you don't know it's not Jason till the very end. And it's revealed it was this dude who's son got killed at the very beginning of the movie, but it was his estranged son because his son was also an orphan. It's very strange. But we also got a return of a character from the fourth movie, who was a kid in the
Hmm.
fourth movie. And this one, he's like 19, I think. Um, and yeah, it was a good time. It was fun, nice, fun kills. Uh, I for a very long time I didn't consider Friday the 13th music iconic, and I think it's because I was always comparing it to Halloween, which has like one of the greatest soundtracks in horror of all time. That the Halloween soundtrack is so good. Composed by the very man who directed the movie, John Carpenter. Um, but the Friday the 13th, the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, this soundtrack is pretty iconic. It does have some tracks when you hear it and you go, that's Friday the 13th. Um, but yeah, how about you guys? What have you been watching? Hey.
Not much, not much. The occasional 2B movie every once in a while, but I did watch a really, really interesting movie called Mungo. Oh, I have two things I just remembered. I watched a really, really interesting movie called Lake Mungo the other day, which is like, it's not quite found footage, it's more like found documentary. Which I've never seen that kind of style of filmmaking before. It's about this girl who drowns in a lake, and it's like her parents trying to investigate her death and like why it happened, what caused it, and it's like there's a implied supernatural element, but there's also this idea of like, is the supernatural actually real? Because they called like psychics, they called ghost hunters and stuff, and they're all like being told these things, but then said things get disproved rather quickly later on in the documentary, and it's like it's this very like, is it not supernatural, or is it just the woes of a teenage girl with undiagnosed mental illness? And I thought that was a really interesting angle for them to play, because even by the end of it I was still quite unsure whether or not it was supernatural or just really, really sad. And then it is. I would recommend that movie a lot. Lake Mungo was great. And then I don't know if I talked about this before on the podcast, but I watched the third Blair Witch movie that's just titled Blair Witch, and it was terrible. It was absolutely awful. Like I have seen many a bad movie, and I went in like with very low expectations because the first Blair Witch was like very much lightning in a bottle. And so I'm like, it's kind of hard to recapture the magic, but I was not expecting this movie to be this terrible. Like, the plot is nonsensical. All the characters are insufferable. Like, they're supposed to be a group of friends that's kind of becoming estranged from each other, but it doesn't feel that way. It feels like these people are just dicks to each other, and that's the whole thing, and it's always been like that. And like, it's just, I don't know, it was really bad. And then they try to set up like this time loop situation that doesn't work because it's paradoxical even in the context of the time loop, and it's stupid. And like, there were 3 different times that the movie ended and then continued to go on, and I was like, this is absurd. Like, it came to where any other horror movie would like end it at, and then kept going, and I'm like, why is there more? Why am I still watching Blair Witch right
That's
now?
actually insane because the original is famous for having a really good ending that just happens and you don't know what
Right.
happens afterward. I don't know if you know this, Brie, but the first time I watched the Blair Witch was at the Parkway Theater at a 20th anniversary screening where one of the directors of the movie was there.
Whoa.
Which was a very awesome way to watch that movie, and I got to ask him a question. It was really cool.
Ooh.
I actually got to just straight up meet him beforehand because he was just out chilling before the movie started. So like, yeah, it was really cool. Got to meet one of the directors
Yeah, what was he
while watching the
doing
movie.
here?
I mean, the movie was filmed in Maryland,
I thought
so it
I do
has
remember those.
a connection to the state and the city of it. So yeah, they decided to have that. I'm sure it was one of many 20th anniversary screenings at the Parkway Theater on North Ave out here in Baltimore. So
That's so cool.
yeah,
Because this one, Blair Witch, like just Blair Witch, not the Blair Witch Project, which I learned you have to differentiate the two. The first movie is the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
This third one that's absolutely awful is just Blair Witch. No fanfare, no nothing. And there's a movie that comes in between there that's like the Blair Witch Chronicles or something stupid, which I did not watch, but I might watch later because I'm like, I need to see just how much we've devolved. But Blair Witch was
filmed like closer to home. Like the first one was filmed in Maryland, but this one was filmed I think in Gwyn Oak.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They just keep getting closer and
Really-
closer.
I know. They're gonna do like a Blair Witch reboot in 3 years, and it's gonna be in Baltimore specifically. How are they gonna make
That'd
it
be
work?
crazy.
I don't know, but Blair Witch meets The Wire, I guess.
It's
Crazy.
crazy work. It's
I
gonna be
know
like,
they would
it's gonna be like Leprechaun goes to the hood.
Right, exactly. The Blair Witch is terrorizing Cherry Hill. God help us all.
That's too close. That's
That's real. I was gonna say it's Cherry Hill today. It's Fed Hill next. I'm on the docket.
oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's it. Just those 2 movies. And I'm kind of sad because Lake Mungo was very, very good, and then Blair Witch was not.
Like the first Blair Witch too. Like it really scared me as a
Mhm.
kid.
It's a good movie. Also surprisingly comedic.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like with how much you like kind of like bad horror movies, you would probably enjoy watching like through some of those old slashers that just have an unnecessary amount of sequels, and some of them are really bad but really fun. Like you would enjoy
I was gonna say I
you would
want.
enjoy
October.
Friday the 13th and Halloween and the Texas Chainsaw movies.
I have seen the first Texas Chainsaw and like I think part of like the third or like the reboot or whatever they did. I think, and that was terrible. But I will have to check out some of these terrible sequels. I did. On my docket at some point is a Saw marathon, but everything that isn't the first and second movies. So
Wow. I watched the first one.
I'll say so far I've watched Jigsaw, which was like just awful movie.
Was that the one with Chris Rock?
No, I think
That's
one.
Spiral.
That one you're talking about is the most recent.
That's
Yeah, Spiral. Jigsaw is the one where it's like it focuses less on the actual traps themselves and more on like I guess the investigative aspect, and like the whole point of it is like instead of it being one person in a trap and they have to like kind of game their way out of it, it's multiple people going through the trap at the same time. And it's like it's a puzzle room sort of thing. And it has a very interesting premise. The execution is awful. The traps aren't even good. So it's like, what's the point?
Unfortunate. But what have you been watching, Bree?
So far I've just been mainly watching more Peaky Blinders. I don't know why I'm so into it, but like they weren't kidding when they said this show was just pure aura farming.
Yeah,
Like some of the things that he did is like ridiculous, but I'm like, hey, he's got swagger, so I'll let it slide for now.
yeah, every time I see a clip from it, it is just them aura farming, like walking down the middle of the street.
Literally mogging every single day. Does not let his face rest. Is mogging in his sleep. When he eats, when he cries.
You know, though, if I dressed like this, I would aura farm too, because they do have aura. I looked it up. They do have aura.
It's very interesting. I heard like
That
later
late
seasons
1800s
are, like,
aura.
but like, my thing is he has to aura farm because like they're literally walking in doo-doo feces every single day.
Dude, feces is crying me.
They throw it out of their homes in buckets and like they just casually walk by, and then like they're like blacksmithing in the streets, and then like there's coal and everything and dogs pooping everywhere, and I'm like, you know what, I would have to aura farm too if I lived in this area.
Right.
But other than that, that's about it. I need to start watching Peacemaker again and continue watching Splinter Cell. It's on the list. I just haven't had the time.
I'll talk about the live action One Piece Ace casting. Now I'm gonna have to pronounce this man's name because I have no clue. So he plays one of the lead characters in Cobra Kai, which is the Karate Kid sequel series on Netflix. And he plays Blue Beetle in the live action DC movie. Zolo Mariduena, I think, is playing Ace, which is Luffy's older brother in One Piece. And that's cool. It was like he has a podcast, and he had the dude who's playing live action Luffy on the podcast. And they like joked about it, and then everyone was like, "But wait a minute, though, that would actually be fire." And now it's actually happening. You know what's really funny and would have been great, kinda, is that speaking of Halloween, uh, what is the name of the main actress for Halloween? Jamie Lee Curtis. Yes, Jamie
Jamie
Lee
Lee
Curtis.
Curtis.
She is surprisingly a really big One Piece fan.
Really?
And she looks like the doctor that like trained Chopper. So she wanted to play the character, but just there was like a scheduling conflict, and that character's gonna be in the next season, but not played by Jamie Lee Curtis, unfortunately. But she likes One Piece and would have liked to play the character, but she was just too busy. And I was like, damn, it could have been cool. But also, I hear that she's probably a Zionist, so can't be mad,
Ooh.
really.
Oh my god.
So it's
Yikes.
like, if that's the case, then good riddance, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This
excited
is crazy.
for live action One Piece. First season was actually surprisingly good, despite all of the bad ones. We got a good one, even if it
I
was
was gonna say,
still
yeah.
unnecessary. It was good despite it. Next, we have Japan's Toho Studio revealing the title for the next Godzilla movie. This is coming from Patrick Brzezinski at The Hollywood Reporter. Legendary Tokyo-based Toho Studios shared the title Monday morning for Mighty Godzilla's next Rampage, revealing that the follow-up to the 2023 smash hit Godzilla Minus One will be called Godzilla Minus Zero, also styled Godzilla Minus 0.0, and that the Oscar-winning director and VFX supervisor Takashi Yamazaki will return at the helm. So yeah, I loved Godzilla Minus One. That movie made me cry in a movie theater. There was one moment that just got me in my feelings, and I was like, God damn, this is a good movie.
Which moment?
Did you see it?
I did see it, yes.
It was when what moment was it? Because I think I might have teared up a few times, but the moment that got me, without spoiling it for A, because I want A to watch this. It's a good movie.
I teared up a few times. I was fighting the tears.
It was at the very end when they came back, and I'll leave it at that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That moment had me in tears. I was like, I can't believe it. But yeah, real good movie. We just got a teaser logo. And that's about it. But Godzilla Minus One set several benchmarks back when it came out. It made $15 million, defying expectations. Or excuse me, it was made with a budget of $15 million. It made $113 million. So it made its budget back and more. So it did very well. And it became the first film in the Godzilla franchise 70-year history to win an Academy Award, taking home the Oscar for Best Visual Effects. This was what year was this? 2023. So this was like Dune. So like it won. I think Avatar: Way of Water came out 2023 too. Like it won in a crowded year. Or maybe no, I think Way of Water might have been 2022 because there's no way it would beat Avatar: Way of Water. Like this movie, like I think Godzilla is a better movie, but visual effects wise, Way of Water is ridiculous. And I also like that movie though. I don't care about the haters. I like the Avatar movies. There doesn't need to be 5 of them, but I still like. But yeah, I'm excited for this. The first one was really good. The music in this movie is also really good. Specifically, it's called Godzilla, I think, like Suite 2. That's really good. And it's just a remix of like the Godzilla theme. You've heard the Godzilla theme before. And there's a part of it that I never really gave a lot of my attention before that is meant to represent essentially the humans and them overcoming Godzilla. That is really good. That the song starts off with the classic, the sound of Godzilla theme, and then it goes into that part, and it's like a very slow build up. And man, this song is good. Just listen to Godzilla Minus One Suite 2. It's real good. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for that. So I'm gonna edit this part into the animation section, but I feel like it would be insane for me not to edit this in here since this got pushed back. Or I guess we would end up recording TV and film today anyway. It was more the comics that got pushed back. So next, I'm watching The Witcher. But I'm watching season 3, despite the fact that I said I started watching season 4. Because I like to rewatch specifically very specific shows, not all shows, but for some shows I like to rewatch the previous season before the new season. But I wasn't sure if I was going to watch season 4 to begin with because they've just been making a lot of weird changes to the show. You know, Henry Cavill isn't Geralt anymore, now it's Liam Hemsworth, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to watch this. But I heard that it's real good and he's doing a real good job, so I was like, let me watch it. So I watched the first episode and he's doing a real good job, and I was like, okay, I'm in. So now, usually I would do is the week beforehand I would rewatch the last season, but I didn't do that this time. So I started rewatching the third season. I got 2 episodes left, and I remember not liking season 3 very much, and I'm liking it, and I think I'm liking it a lot more because I also the book I'm reading is like the exact same story, so I'm like comparing it, and that's really fun. But it kind of hit the high point, and now I know it's gonna get worse from here, and I know the last 2 episodes aren't as good as the rest of the season. But at least it'll get high again when I rewatch the first episode of season 4. Um, but yeah, it's a good time. But I now have the urge to play The Witcher 3. But I'm in the middle of playing too many games. I'm playing Ghost of Yotei, I'm playing Hades 2, I'm playing Ninja Gaiden 4, and Bree, I randomly decided for some reason, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm playing 3 brand new games. Let's just replay Resident Evil 2. Let's just who could that hurt? You know, it's not like you got 1,000 games to play. Let's just replay Resident Evil 2 randomly, and I had a great time. Um, so can't be
That
mad
was
at
to
it.
like decompress from the other game.
Yeah, but I did start playing the other ones. I talked about that in the video game section, which is technically after this one, but we're recording this after that. But yeah, moving on to Predator Badlands. So I saw that, and I'll just straight up read my Letterboxd review. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, which isn't bad by any means. It means I still liked it, but you know, it has some flaws. Predator Badlands was an extremely fun action movie bogged down by post MCU action comedy storytelling. So we finally have a Predator movie focused on the titular alien race, the Yautja, and getting an intimate view of their culture was awesome. The first 10 minutes or so was everything I wanted and more, but then we're introduced to an absolute vibes killer of a character named Thea, who's a Weyland-Yutani robot. Yes, that Weyland-Yutani, the evil corporation of the Alien franchise. This is a clear sign of them attempting to build on the connected universe of Alien and Predator that was started, 20 years ago, which is when we got the last crossover. This is likely due to the popularity of the MCU, but that isn't my problem with Thea. I'm okay with that. I want to see them cross over again. My problem is that she talks too damn much. She turns, which should have been a very like Gendy Tartakovsky style, mostly dialogueless action flick, into an MCU style action comedy with tons of unnecessary quips. I understand the utility of her character in teaching the main character, Dak, about the flaws of the Yautja culture, but I think that the same lesson could have been taught through Dak's relationship with their little alien companion, Bud. Similar to something like Genny Tartakovsky's Primal, which is about a caveman and a dinosaur working together to survive the prehistoric era. I do, however, like the cold and calculating android villain who's in the movie, who is also played by the same actress, who is Elle Fanning. Elle Fanning. Yes, Elle Fanning. That's her name. But I don't think that the sister-like relationship with Thea and I just said her name. Where did I write that? Oh, I guess I didn't write it down at all. Well, it doesn't matter what their name is. I don't think that the sister-like relationship between those two characters was necessary. I think that you could have just had a bunch of kind of just throw in some humans for her to sacrifice instead of making the mission androids only, because they're just androids on this mission. Because this movie's PG-13. But it's also very violent, but they're fighting robots. Just like, like speaking again, Tartakovsky, like Samurai Jack. It's very violent, but they're fighting robots, so it's PG-13. But, despite my complaints, it's a fun movie. It's as fun as the average Marvel movie, and nowhere near as worse as some of the worst Predator movies like Predator 2. So it's pretty good in my eyes. Also, the ending sets up the reveal of something that's talked about a lot in Yautja lore, which is the fact that the female Yautjas are like bigger and stronger than the male Yautjas, similar to like lions. and we've never seen that in live action. But kind of spoiler alert. At the end, it's teased that his mother's coming. So it's like
Ooh.
that's exciting for people who know. So yeah, I'm excited for the sequel. Dan Trachtenberg is 3 for 3 with Predator films now, with Prey, Predator Killer of Killers, which is an animated movie, and this one. But speaking of Killer of Killers, I think that this movie should have just been animated. This movie should have been animated. It's only live action because there's no respect for animation. And people are used to these movies being live action, but I'm like, nah, this should have been animated. It would have been way better if it was animated. Again, still good. The action was great and all the effects were good, but I just think it would have been a little bit better if it was animated. And ultimately, I actually do like Thea as a character. She just needed to talk like 35% less. She talked way too much. This movie also made me want a Predator game in the vein of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So like a Souls-like Predator game where you're on an alien planet fighting and hunting various creatures. That would be sick. But
That
yeah,
would be sick.
good movie
I would play that.
overall. But some very specific things I didn't
Didn't
like
they
about it.
technically make a Predator game, or like there was something that had like a Predator DLC to it?
They've made several Predator games. So there's Predator. You're thinking Predator. Well, what you're thinking specifically about what you said was they added the Predator DLC to Ghost Recon. But then there was
Okay,
also Predator Badlands. Not Badlands. That's this movie. Predator. It's a movie. I mean, it's a name that I'm like that would be good for a movie, but it's been taken for a game. Hunting Grounds was the game where it's a asymmetric game where one person plays the predator, 4 people play as regular people, and you got to hunt them down or kill the predator. And it unfortunately didn't do so well. But I heard that it was good despite that. So yeah, I just want a single player game where you play as a predator, similar to this movie where you're like just out hunting stuff. But the last thing I have before we wrap things up is Frankenstein, by Guillermo del Toro. Another movie that I wrote a letterbox review for. So I said, and I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. I hesitated to give it a 5. I'm not going to give it a 5, but it's 4.5 out of 5. Nothing has made me want to read a novel more than this movie. Frankenstein is a story I've seen told and referenced in many forms, but none as beautifully as this one. Del Toro tells another heart-wrenching tale about a monster who only wants to live and be loved. And I will be reading Mary Shelley's original work as soon as possible.
Please do.
I also learned that it has the coolest subtitle in the world that I never realized, which is "or." It's called Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus, and I was like, why are people leaving off that part of the title? That's sick as hell. Or the Modern Prometheus? That's fire, literally. Yeah, it was real good. You definitely got to check this out. It's on Netflix. I wish it was in theaters for longer, so I would have saw it in theaters, but it was in theaters for a very brief period of time. But from Hellboy to The Shape of Water, Del Toro loves a monstrous man falling in love with a beautiful woman. Whether or not the monster that falls in love with the beautiful woman that is Mia Goth's character named Elizabeth, whether that's Victor Frankenstein or the creature himself, you tell me. Who's the monster? Who's the man? But Frankenstein the Doctor is played by Oscar Isaac, and the creature is played by Jacob Elordi of Euphoria fame. And could not suggest a movie more. It's great. Watch it. You'll love it.
I was going to say, because I don't know if you knew this about me. I am a huge Frankenstein fan. Like the actual Mary Shelley novel itself. That is one of my favorite pieces of classical lit ever. Like I have my big 3 when it comes to classical lit is Frankenstein, the Iliad, Frankenstein, the Iliad, and there's another one that I'm forgetting, and I'm so mad that I'm forgetting it because it's in my big 3. But Frankenstein definitely reigns supreme, and I've been very, very excited about this movie since I heard about it, and I like it the minute I get a chance, like a free moment, I'm watching it.
I'll watch it, especially if like it gives like Shape of Water and like Hellboy vibes, and I love those movies. Well, Shape of Water, it's okay, but it was a good movie. But I think I will watch it too.
Okay, moving on to video games. What have you been playing lately? I know you say you've been playing a lot more
All
video
right.
games.
I'll say I have a lot of things to talk about. So I started Metaphor Fantasio, and I am absolutely loving it so far.
Forgot you
I don't know
told me
what
that.
took me so. Yep, I started Metaphor. I want to say like a week ago. I'm up to. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm after like that big first turning point when we like really start getting into where the game opens up. I've been really, really liking it so far. I think the battle theme is going to cook my Spotify Wrapped for this year because I have listened to it at least 20 times within the past couple weeks.
Look,
And I just started.
that's what happened to me with Expedition 33.
Real. That's next on my list. When I finish Metaphor, I'm going to play Expedition 33.
Dope. That's gonna be like a while from now.
Now I'm speeding through Metaphor pretty quickly,
Okay,
actually.
okay.
Yeah. Because I'm really enjoying the gameplay. I like that it takes all the stuff I like about Persona 5 and kind of like leaves behind all the weird Persona isms in favor of like just a more balanced system altogether. I really like Metaphor, and I'm kind of mad that I didn't play it sooner, but better late than never. Better late than never. Me and some friends of mine started Dispatch, I want to say, on either Thursday or Friday, and that's been really good. We're already up to episode 3. Big fan of the pro tag. Big fan of Robert, I fear.
Robert Robertson.
The
Good old Bob
Robert
Bob.
Robertson. Right, Bob, what a man.
Bob Robertson.
It's definitely an interesting game. The managerial aspect I thought was going to be a little more fun, but it's actually a little boring, which is unfortunate. But the story and the interactions between the characters and Bob Robertson make up for it tenfold. So
But
I'm not mad.
I'm gonna talk a lot more about it at the end, so we can have a. I'm glad you played it, so now we can have
Yeah.
a deeper discussion about it
A discussion.
towards the end.
Yep. I've been playing a lot more Hades 2. I've been getting a lot better at Hades 2 also. And I think it's just a matter of time, maybe one or two more runs before I do the thing I'm supposed to do. Underground, of course. The surface I have still not made any progress in.
Yeah, well, for me, I always playing Rivals. I always find some time to play a little bit of Rivals. Having a good time with that. I've admittedly barely been playing Ghost of Yote recently. I've been mostly playing Hades 2 or Dispatch whenever a new episode comes out. But I started to get back into it this weekend and entered a new area that I'm excited to explore. I haven't hopped back into Ninja Gaiden 4 yet either. Not because I dislike it, but because Hades 2 just had me in a headlock. Playing a lot of Hades 2.
Makes sense.
Of course, like I said, playing Dispatch. That's fun. I'm caught up. I've played all 6 episodes so far. And I randomly decided, I'm in the middle of playing Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, Dispatch, but I was like, or Ninja Gaiden 4, and I was like, you know what? For some reason, let's play Resident Evil 2 again. And I think I saw there was like a costume. Okay, let me be real. Okay, I might cut this out.
Okay.
Somebody on like I was on Reddit, saw a post from Resident Evil 2 Reddit of Claire. And one of the costumes that's in the game that's this like F1, not F1, it's like a motorcycle like rider outfit, and she looked good, and I was like, maybe I need to play that game again. So I downloaded the PS5 version of it because I have the PS4 version, but I was like, let me get the PS5 version. And let me buy the little DLC that has that, and it had like a good gun, and I was like, let me play it. And very much like you with Signalis, I am running through this game. I know this game like the back of my hand. So, like, survival horrors are like low-key built like that for a reason. Because I mean, Resident Evil, especially earlier Resident Evil games where you can play as multiple characters. I did my first playthrough with Leon, and then I did the B scenario with Claire. So I played it twice already. So I'm playing it a third time, but this time A scenario with Claire. And yeah, I have a powerful gun that kills zombies pretty fast. Plus, I know everything that's happening and where everything is. So I'm just
where everything is.
Yeah, so I'm just running through this game. This is my third time playing it. I'm like, this is a good time. Yes, it's a good game.
Like, Signalis is one of the few games that I've ever felt confident enough to play on the hardest difficulty for, because like not only is it a short game, like 8 hours at most if you really, really struggle, which I did my first playthrough. But also like on top of that, that first run through you do, after that, you know the game because it's so small and contained. It's like, I know what's coming, I know how I have to prepare. And I thought that I was gonna fight for my life on survival horror difficulty because I was trying to platinum it, which I did. And I didn't. And that was a really big surprise. So now it's got me wanting to do more survival horror games because I find that I really enjoy the genre after you get over the initial fear.
Yeah, oh yeah, you should definitely play Resident Evil 2 then. Play Resident Evil 2 remake. It's okay. If you want like a more old school style, you could play the remake of the first Resident Evil first. The one from GameCube. But yeah, I realized that I was like a normal mode player for a very long time, but very recently I realized like normal mode has become too easy for me.
It has.
And now I'm playing. Now I'm playing everything on like hard mode. The only reason I'm not playing Resident Evil 2 on hard mode is because the difficulty after that, maybe you unlock a regular hard mode if you beat it. But the only way you can do hard mode on the first playthrough at the very least is to also limit your saves like the original game did. And I was like, I don't want that. Whereas Resident Evil 4, you can do a hard mode without that, and you can also do a hard mode where your saves are limited. So like, I wish that Resident Evil 2 remake also had that, but instead I'm playing it on normal because I don't want to have a limited amount of saves.
Right. Yeah, Signalis is like that too, where it's like by default you have like an expanded inventory, so like a certain thing doesn't take up an inventory slot. But I prefer playing it, and you have to play it this way on survival horror difficulty, where it's like you literally only have 6 inventory slots total. For like modules and like stuff you need, key cards, all that stuff, 6 inventory slots. And that was the way I played it the first time. I didn't even know that the expanded inventory was a thing until I started my survival horror playthrough. And when I played it, like I tried playing it with the expanded inventory and I hated it because it made it too easy.
Yeah, the original Resident Evil games, you only had a limited number of inventory slots. In the remake of Resident Evil 2, you can get items that increase your inventory slots, but like you still have to make stuff fit. But you can increase the size of it, and like they still make it limited. But yeah, because I know what I'm doing. I got the weapons I like. The pistol is just killing everything, so I'm just like I'm barely barely using the other weapons, so they're just chilling.
Anything else.
But it has only been zombies now. There were some lickers, but I did use the other weapon on them. But yeah, I'm realizing that if you know where everything is, this game is so easy because you know where all the ammo is, and you just run like you very much can kill everything and still have ammo left over if you know what you're doing. But but if you don't, and you're playing it for the first time, you're just shooting everything. If you try to shoot everything, you're gonna run out of ammo real fast. There's some I've learned that there are some zombies that are designed to not die. Because it's like some you'll shoot them and the gun I have will like pop their heads in like 3 shots or something. And there's some I'll just keep shooting them in the head and they'll just fall and the head won't pop. And I'm like, oh, you're gonna get up again later because they don't want me to kill you. So I'm gonna shoot your legs off instead.
Fascinating.
Yeah, they like to save zombies for you so that there's still things in the hallways to make it difficult to get through them.
I was gonna say Signalis is kind of like that, but instead it's like there's like a certain percentage chance for stuff to get back up, and so like you never know what is going to come back and bite you in the ass. But it balances it out a little bit by like with a way to like put something down and keep it down permanently. But those things, like the thing you need to do it, is few and far between. So
yeah,
I tend to not use it, which is kind of irresponsible. But
yeah, I imagine that's definitely pulling from the remake of Resident Evil 1 from GameCube, where you have to set zombies on fire to kill them permanently.
Yeah, it's like that in Signalis too.
Yeah, I think they call them crimson hits, and they come back. They're stronger and they're faster, and the only way to kill them is to set them on fire. Otherwise, they keep coming back. So yeah, you'll probably like the Resident Evil 1 remake, even though
I was gonna say the more you tell me about it, the more I think I have to play it.
There might be some like old school stuff to it that's a bit annoying, but I haven't played it yet either. I'll probably play it eventually. Assuming they, I mean, even if they remake it again in like a modern style before
Right.
I end up playing it, I'll probably still end up going back to go play it eventually anyway.
Makes sense.
But yeah, moving on to some trailers and news. GTA 6 got delayed again. Rockstar posted on social saying, "Hi everyone, Grand Theft Auto 6 will now release on Thursday, November 19th, 2026. We are sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait, but these extra months will allow us to finish the game with the level of polish you have come to expect and deserve." What were you going to say?
I was going to say, the fact that they named the Thursday specifically is so funny to me because I feel like I know it's a long wait, but look, Thursday so soon. It's just funny to me.
Yeah. But yeah, even though I think it's been debunked that it's not a Miyamoto quote, but the fake Miyamoto quote says, a rushed game will always be bad, but I forget, what is it? A delayed game will eventually be good. Like, yeah, so
Yeah.
the game's gonna be good when it comes out. I don't mind waiting.
Yeah.
But rumor is that this delay may actually be due to the fact that Rockstar Games fired 40 people in a union busting effort, and now the staff is revolting. According to Envinyan on Twitter. But according to a report from Wesley Yinpool at IGN, the fired workers were all UK and Canadian employees who were also part of a private trade union chat group on Discord, and were either union members themselves or trying to organize a union within Rockstar. The Independent Workers' Union of Great Britain claimed the staff were fired explicitly due to union activities. A new Bloomberg report carried a fresh statement from Take-Two in which the company insisted the fired staff had leaked company secrets in a public forum. They said, "Last week we took action against a small number of individuals who were found to be distributing and discussing confidential information in a public forum, a violation of our company policies." The Take-Two statement read, "This was in no way related to people's rights to join a union or engage in union activities." Honestly, I really doubt this is what caused the delay, but it is still worth bringing up because even though Rockstar is poised to make a significant amount of money with GTA 6, they are still attempting to penny pinch and mistreat their employees and deserve to be called out for it.
That's not okay.
And in hope that, something changes. So yeah, it's just wild. Like, you're so rich, but you want to continue to keep people down.
Sell
Like,
people.
there's no reason for it. We could all have our cake and eat it too.
It's just great at that point.
But yeah, I'm surprised they didn't give us another trailer this time because at least last time when they delayed it, they gave us a trailer. Like, this time, give us some gameplay. Like, you got like if the game's coming out in a year at this point, at least a year from 10 days from now, because we're recording this on November 9th. Like, you can give us just a little bit.
Yeah, a section of gameplay wouldn't hurt.
But you want to know what's getting delayed and has barely showed us anything? Marvel 1943: Rise of Hydra. So you probably don't even remember this game. It is. It is. You probably forgot the game the moment after we talked about it. It is a Captain America and Black Panther game set in 1943. It says. And it's being developed by Skydance Studio. The creative director is Amy Hennig, who directed my favorite game of all time, Uncharted 2. And yeah, they posted a statement on Twitter. If I can open this link. Yeah, so they said, "At Skydance Games, our goal is to deliver unforgettable premium games that honor the characters and worlds we're fortunate to work with. Marvel 1943: Rise of Hydra is an ambitious project, and we are committed to ensuring it meets the level of quality that our team players, and fans expect. To fully realize our vision for Marvel 1943, we've made the decision to shift our release window beyond early 2026. We're grateful for the passion and support from community and players around the world. The team is working hard to create something truly special, and we look forward to sharing more with you as development progresses." I can only imagine that it's not coming out at the end of the year because GTA just got pushed to the end of the year. So they're probably going to try to release it in the summer instead of the winter or spring. But yeah, They showed us one cinematic trailer. I feel like if you delay a game, you should be legally required to give us another trailer.
Definitely.
I feel like, especially if the game was supposed to come out early next year and we're in the late of this year, so it was relatively soon. That means you have enough to show us.
Right.
Like, my problem is that games get announced early, they take forever to come out, and then they show us nothing. And they're like,
Right.
show us literally anything.
Like, what am I supposed to get excited about?
Show us literally anything if you're going to delay it. I think delays should always come with you showing us something. If you're going to delay the game, tell us why we should still be excited despite the delay.
Right.
But yeah, but moving on to reviews. Let's talk about Hades 2. The way you're talking about it, I assume you got down to the bottom, but just didn't beat the final boss.
Yeah. Not quite to the final boss yet, but I got a little further. I've been getting to the final boss of the fields fairly consistently, and he's been kicking my ass. But I feel like I'm really, really close to a breakthrough. Like that's the thing I really, really like about Hades 2 and just like Hades in general is that like when I throw myself at the wall over and over and over again in other roguelikes, it's like I never get like it's just throwing myself at the wall and it's like hopefully this run succeeds. But like when it's Hades, the more and more I throw myself into it, the more like the closer and closer I get to like an aha moment or breakthrough. And I think I'm really close to a breakthrough. So I'm excited about that. I met someone new, very pretty lady.
What do you mean? I mean, we can talk spoilers.
Yeah, I met Hera. She's gorgeous, and I take her
Yes.
boons every time. She has become my Athena.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you said, and I
it-
take her boobs every time, and I was like, what?
Oh, that's crazy. Nah, me and Hera, we're besties now, and because Hitched is like too good, it almost feels like cheating. Been kind of I'm a little better with Oceanus now, and it's still not my favorite area. Definitely, I think I do still prefer
The crossroads, or not the
Erebus,
crossroads.
but
The crossroads is where you start.
yeah. But you know, it's been going good. And I find myself like itching to play it at work and like out and about. I'm like, damn, I'm out, but I could really be playing Hades 2 right now.
I mean, you
So
got
that's
it.
been fun.
You got it on
But
PC and Switch, right?
I do.
You
So
could,
I'm
yeah, you
like,
could just transfer
maybe I
your
should be
saves.
serious. Which I might just do. We'll see. But I feel like my productivity is gonna tank if I do that. So I'm a little hesitant.
Yeah, the only reason I haven't been bringing my Switch to work to play Hades or Bellagio is because I've been reading comics on my lunch break. After I eat lunch, I just sit down and read a comic so I can get through my comics.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I'm at the point where I no longer like pick the weapons that give you more resources. Instead, I'm going for like specific builds.
I was to say I never do.
So yeah, I usually do that, but now I'm just like, no, I'm using a specific weapon to do a specific thing. Like
Right.
and recently I kept getting to the tippity top of Mount Olympus and then dying to the final boss.
Dang.
And I can't wait till you get to it. It's so good.
I can only imagine because I've only gotten to one area on the surface so far. And that was like I got like 2 rooms past the shepherd and then got cooked. So
Yeah, that again, we talked before about how the upper section is so much better than the lower section. And
it really is.
the
fear.
boats are so fun. And it's such a cool
They are.
concept.
It is.
The upper section is so
It reminds
cool.
me of like it feels like what Asphodel was trying to be but couldn't because like the devs didn't have that level of dev experience. So that's really nice.
Yeah, it's a good game. Good game. But let's get into Dispatch. So
Yes.
I played episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6. And they were much better than the first 2. But my main complaint still stands. But having played to yourself, you now kind of see what I'm talking about. For the
I
first
definitely
the
see what
first
you're
2
talking
episodes
about.
of especially where like if you played the first 2 episodes by themselves, by the end of the second episode, you're like, okay, it's cool, I like it, I want to keep playing it. But like It didn't end in a way
Right.
to where you're like, oh, I gotta get to the next episode. Like games like this
The
usually do.
next episode, yeah.
Like games like this usually try to end with you like really excited for the next episode. But this one it was kind of just like, I mean, cool, nice little twist. She's dating Phenomenon, cool.
Right, or at least was.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I guess in episode 3 that is revealed. Is that the episode where he's sad and you see him moping around?
I don't think so. Not
Okay,
yet.
you're gonna
But
you'll see it. Episode.
I can only imagine.
I'm realizing how weird episode 4 is. I'm realizing just how much stuff happens in episode 4, and I'm excited for you to watch it. Episode 4 is crazy. But now that you're playing it, I can't say what I was going to say because I low-key was going to say a minor spoiler for the beginning of episode 4, but now that you're playing it, I'm not going to say anything.
Oh boy, I can only imagine.
Yeah, you're gonna.
What you're sparing me from.
Oh, it's gonna be a real interesting conversation next episode. I promise you.
Bet.
But yeah, the story really picks up in episode 4 for me personally. Like episode 3 was kind of more of the same
Ooh.
when it comes to like the first two. It was like a little bit better, but not significantly so. It was episode 4 where it got like real good. And again, I can't say too much because now you're playing it. But it got good. But you know, where it gets better, and you mentioned it when you talked about it earlier, is that like the interpersonal relationships between the characters are the best part of the game itself. And that's why it's like,
100%.
oh yeah, this is a good show, not necessarily a good game.
A good game.
And that's unfortunate. But I'm gonna cut Dispatch a bit of slack because I forgot to mention this last episode because I didn't know this, but just didn't bring it up. It was actually originally meant to be one of those TV shows where you can make choices that determine the outcome of the story. So it was actually originally meant to be a live action show.
A TV show. That makes sense.
And yeah, that's why it is the way that it is. And they kind of just had to adapt their previous idea for a video game. With that said, you know, it's still worth kind of criticizing, being like, hey, you know, you did the best you could with what you had, so because of that, I give you a bit of slack. Like, okay, I understand why it is the way it is, and ultimately, I am still enjoying it. And unlike you, I actually really like the management sim. It's the only game part of the game. Because ultimately, tell me how you feel, but the choices don't really feel like they matter.
They don't. They definitely don't. They definitely don't.
Like
it
feels like one of those TV shows where the choices, like it's fun, but it's like they don't matter. Like in games like this, they usually at least. Even when the choices in other games like this usually, I mean, they do matter more than they do in this, if we're being real. But at the same time, ultimately, small changes are happening.
Right. I also think we're spoiled a little bit on like the Telltale style of like you affect the narrative so directly. Like
I think
that
Supermassive has just like blown everything out of the water because those games, like every decision you make they have such significant consequences, but the difference between those and the Telltale games is that they're not episodic and it's just one game. I think that if this, I mean, you know, they did that with this game. They did make it as one game, but then released it as separate episodes. I would be interested to see what this dev team would be like if they made it one game instead of episodic, even though I do like the episodic format. Because I wonder if that would enhance the decision making if it was all one game.
But I feel like it would.
But also, I think it's more of a matter of this is them taking a previous idea and making it a game. If they either make something new or continue with this IP and make a second season, I want to see them evolve it and make it an actual game. Now, do you feel the way I felt last episode where I said like I kind of missed the moments where you could walk around?
Yes, definitely.
And I feel like
I feel like this game would really benefit from like a walking around section because I want to see the office.
Exactly.
I want to see my coworkers.
And every other game like this, you don't usually have a place that you go back to every episode. You're going all over the place. In the Walking Dead games, you're going to various different places throughout the entirety of those seasons. In this one, you're going back to the same place every single day, and I'm like, I want to explore that office. I want to go and talk to Galen. I want to learn about this Florida man. I want to see what what's his name? Flambe is doing on his break. Like I want to talk to these people.
Like this is an office sim. I want it to be an office sim. And it's like maybe it's a little ironic for us, especially because we work office jobs anyway, but like, you know, it's
quirky. It's fun. Like that moment between Sonar and Rob in the break room, I think really kind of made me want to walk around because it's like I
You gonna eat
want
those
more of
toinks?
that. But right, exactly. Like I thought that was fun. That was cool. It was the joke fell a little flat, but you know, it's just a shame because it's like this game has so much
Yeah.
potential, and it's not a bad game, but it could be a lot better, and
Yeah.
that's my
It's
frustration
not bad
with
by
it.
any means. It's an
Mm-mm.
all right game, but it's a great show. And I wouldn't be
It's a
surprised.
great show.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just eventually straight up just be like, maybe we just make a different game and turn this into a show.
Because that's kind of the way I'm experiencing it right now. I said a couple of buddies of mine are playing it, and it's like one of them like streams it over Discord, and we watch him play. And I think that's also a part of the reason why I don't really enjoy the managerial aspect. If I was playing it, that'd be great, but I'm not. So, and my friend is not so good at management games.
Also,
So, or at least this
I think
guy.
that again, I wish that the management aspect affected the story more. Like because
Me
when I was
too.
watching Kind of Funny Games review of it, I believe that Greg Miller he said that he was like he either read something or maybe he talked to the devs at one point and they said that they didn't see the management part as being a significant part of the story and more so just something fun and for you to do and to just add gameplay to the game. And I'm like,
Mhm.
no, I think every bit of gameplay you
Yeah,
do in this game should be
should
like it should
matter.
affect the story. Like it's not like you're playing Gwent in The Witcher. Like you're not going and just playing like
Right,
a side game in the game that shouldn't affect the story. This is like the main. This is the game. Like you are a dispatcher.
right.
I feel like it should affect the story. Whether I'm
Exactly.
doing good or bad in that management sim, I think should affect the story.
And it gives me more, like, it gives you, I think it would give the player more incentive to actually do good and connect with the characters, like, in your squad, because as it stands right now, it's just like, whatever. None of the stuff matters anyway, so,
What happens at the end of episode 3? I don't remember.
I think, if I'm remembering correctly, because I don't really remember either, I played it, like, half-tired, Invisigal and you have to let someone go
Okay,
off the
I couldn't
team.
remember if that was episode 3 or 4
And yeah.
because I didn't want to spoil that if it
Yeah.
was.
Who'd you let go? I have to know.
So I let go, even though in that episode they were my most sent hero. I let go
Mm.
Coupe because I thought that Sonar was
Mm.
just a more fun character. And I was like, she's kind of boring, and he's gonna make the story more interesting because he's fun. And he's funny. So I chose him because he was just a more fun character. That was my decision making. I was just like, I
Makes
don't
sense.
care how useful they are. I care how fun of a character they are.
I don't remember who they are. Right. Me and my friends, we chose to let Sonar go, simply because my one friend's not a fan of voice critical at all, which I get. He's not for everybody. And B, like we're like, we love women. We love women around here. And so we're going to choose the woman. And so we chose the woman over the guy.
I got
Hopefully we do not come to regret this, because
yeah. I
you
got
know.
the deluxe version that comes with comics and concept art.
Mhm.
So there's a comic
Ooh.
about Coupe and Punch Up because they're friends and they knew each other before joining
Mhm.
the Z team.
Right.
And at one point they were in a relationship. And she was
Mm.
sent to assassinate him, but he has like impenetrable skin. He's like a short Luke Cage, and a short Irish
Mhm.
Luke Cage, and
Right.
yeah, they ended up fighting, and then they just ended up having sex, and then they dated for a little bit, but now they're just friends. And if you let
Mm.
her go, he gets upset
Mhm.
in the next episode.
Oh, love that.
But in another comic, I think I forget which episode it unlocks because certain comics don't unlock until after episodes because you don't want to spoil yourself.
Right.
Which is Sonar and Malevolar are friends, and they were friends before they joined the team.
Right.
So you're going to see the consequences of your
So
decision
bad.
from Malevola, who's voiced by Alana Pierce, who's a YouTuber and a video game writer that I like a lot. And yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. Shout out Malevola. But yeah, she's very much just straight up Magic from the X-Men. Who also turn Magic because she's a sorceress and she has a giant sword and she's a demon. That is Magic's whole thing. She can
Right.
transform into a demon. Her name is Magic, so she does magic. And she can make portals.
Of course.
They can both make portals. Like Magic does magic, but she's a mutant. Her actual mutant ability is to make portals. And Malevolent makes portals with her giant sword. She very much is just straight
Right.
up very clearly inspired by Magic from Marvel. But yeah. Good game though. It's a good game overall. And
Very good game.
I'm excited to see what these last two episodes are like, and I'm excited for you to catch up. But yeah, that's all I have. You don't have anything else.
Oh, big Animal Crossing
Yeah.
New Horizons update.
Switch to it.
Big content update. Yeah. I don't really have much to say. I'm just surprised that it happened at all because they definitely were like, there will be no more significant content updates for Animal Crossing, and then lied and released one. I am so
Nintendo's so weird.
excited. Huh?
I said Nintendo's so weird.
Very weird.
They did
Very
all
weird.
of these. They spread out all this information over so many different, like, what do they call them? Directs. And I'm just like, why didn't you just make one with like
one
all
direct?
of this?
Right. I am super duper excited about creative mode and like being able to start multiple islands. That should have been an option from the beginning because it was in New Leaf, but beggars can't be choosers. And then yeah. Also the Zelda collab villagers are so cute. So cute.
Yeah. And they added like
I'm very excited for that.
And for Switch 2, they added like mouse mode compatibility.
Ooh. That's probably interesting. And bulk crafting is going to be really fun. It might actually make me get back into the game because I really did stop playing because I was really frustrated with the state of it. Where it's like it's trying so hard to ride on New Leaf's coattails, but doesn't have any of the sauce that made New Leaf fun. And so like instead of playing New Horizons, I just ended up playing a whole bunch of New Leaf. But this might bring me back to it, which is exciting because I kind of miss New Horizons.
And I've been thinking recently,
and like the scale of it.
You know that what is it called? Pokemon Poketopia, that creepy ditto game with that's like Animal Crossing but with Pokemon. I feel like they should make a Pokemon game where you can just like make your own homestead. Like
Isn't it Poke Park?
Like I mean like it's a regular Pokemon game and you can do that.
Oh,
like
that would be interesting.
Pal World does that.
Pal World,
and I feel like they like Pal World stole from them. They should steal from Pal World.
From Pal World, yeah, it's only fair.
Because I feel like people would really like that. I would like that. That would make me want to play Pokemon more. Because I don't really care to play any of the newer Pokemon. I just want to play all the old ones.
Me too.
Now that I finally have a Nintendo console for the first time since I was a wee lad, I can finally play Pokemon again.
I was gonna say, I'm a Sapphire Warrior. I've played that game a good 7 times. It's still to me the best one. Like Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire. I still think
I'm probably gonna play Emerald because that was my first one, but I never finished it. I just remember the last thing I did was fight Rayquaza and lose, and then I was like, I'm done.
But that's all I've got.
Yeah. So you can find all of our ads in the link in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more storytelling content, and to click the notification bell so that you're notified when we post. Peace.
See ya.